Hey, it's Brian from BrianWright732, and this is the Daily B156. No fancy edits or any weird things today. I'm just going to get right to the point. So I posted a quote. I don't even remember what it was, but it brought up the conversation about controlling people. That's, I think, the quote was leaning towards. But the craziest thing that I see is that I did it myself. Especially in the martial arts community, we run into situations where we do things that we know we shouldn't do. We do things for people that we would never do for anyone else because of some kind of, superior perception of a superior position. So as this applies back to the workforce, because I see this as well, I see really bad bosses that are dictatorial, that are mean, that are extremely micromanaging, which means controlling, manipulative, whatever. I see this everywhere. This is not just a random thing that you run into here and there, but this is something that is throughout every industry that has leadership. One thing that employees forget, and what good employers forget, is that we're all free people. There is no reason, if you're an employee, to stay working for a bad boss. Somebody that is not giving you the satisfaction of allowing you to do your job, to let you do what you are hired to do, somebody that sold you a bag of goods on the front end and then is just trying to milk you on the other end, there is no reason to stay there. Okay, you're telling me paycheck, it's tough, whatever. There are jobs out there, and if you can get the job that you have now, you can get another job. If your skills are that good, your talents are that great, and you have the ability to put together the proper resume and make the right connections and do the work to get the job, you can leave and you can go make money. You might make less money than what the bad boss is offering you, but it's worth it because you won't be miserable. And there is no reason for anyone to be going to work and being miserable by choice. If you're going to be miserable, go do something else. Like, go find satisfaction in the workplace. Now, if you're an employer, why would you ever disrespect another human being by ruining their day, by just being a manipulative, controlling asshole? It is your responsibility to give people opportunity. Now, it's their choice on what they do with that opportunity, but don't take advantage of it. It does no good for you. It does no good for people. It does no good for your business. It doesn't do any good for your customers. It just doesn't do any good. It just becomes this horrible exchange of money. For what? I run a retail business. If I drive people crazy in retail, I look at it like this. I'm not curing cancer here. I'm not saving lives. I'm providing luxury clothing to people. There's nothing, overwhelming about this. This is part of the marketplace. I provide a product that I need people to, employ to sell, and they get paid, which then puts money into the marketplace, and the consumer spends money, and It's a financial trade. This, again, we're not solving the problems of the world. We're not feeding poor children in whatever. Like, we're selling clothes. We're making money so that we can find satisfaction and live our lives. Something I tell people when they come to work for me is I say, look, if you're looking at retail as like, you fucked up in life, so that's why you're here, don't come and work for me. Because the only people I want to employ are people that actually enjoy doing what it is we do here and feel a sense of purpose and satisfaction in the process. That's why I'm here, and that's the kind of people that I want to work with. Now, as an employer, if I see that you don't have a connection and a purpose in what we do, I'm going to do you a favor and I'm going to fire you because you need to go find satisfaction. And if I can't give it, you shouldn't be here. So when I let you go, I'm doing you a favor. Now, for you, if you're an employee in a situation where you're not satisfied, you need to leave. If your employer is just going to keep taking advantage of you, they're going to do it because it's like this weak thing. They see a weakness in you, an inability to say no. Well, you need to, get some strength, get some conviction, get a greater sense of self, and say, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. And then go find whatever it is that you can do to make the money that you need to be satisfied in the process, to get a result that's going to allow you to live the life that you want to live. And that's the whole point. If your job is not a mutually beneficial trade on both ends, as an employee and an employer, what's the point? I just don't get it. And that's really what we have to focus on going forward in this economy is we have to stop trying to take advantage of each other. How low can we pay? How many hours can we squeeze out? How much profits can we extract with whatever? And start looking at how much value can we provide? What is that worth? And how are we going to attain that worth? And then how do we keep reinvesting that in a positive way that's going to create greater and greater profits? Profits are not something that we have to fire people to generate, to screw a customer to get. It's be good at what you do. Provide what it is you do at a high level so that you get a high return. It's really that simple. If you don't have the ability to do that, you shouldn't be doing whatever it is you're doing because you're not good at it. So, to me, this is what leadership going forward in the new economy is going to be all about. It's going to be about a mutually beneficial trade between employee and employer, and then the employee and the customer. And that's it. So just remember, you are not tied to anything. You are a free human being to do whatever it is you want to do. On a quick one, I'm just going to throw back to the martial arts side of it. I had an instructor that was very strict about the usage of their title. So they were a Shihan. And if you didn't call him Shihan, there was a penalty to pay for that. Usually with some kind of corporal punishment. If you were in the gym, you'd probably get kicked in the leg or punched in the chest or have to do a lot of squats and push-ups. Now here's where things got a little fucked up is I run into my instructor at a Home Depot. And I used their name. And they didn't like that. They made me do push-ups in the paint aisle at a Home Depot because I didn't use their title, which they were inappropriately using anyway. Now, for me, it wasn't a lack of respect that I didn't use the title while standing in a Home Depot. It was really the context of the setting. It was a conversational relationship at that particular moment for me, but this person's inability to be human and egocentric need to carry this title over to inflate their sense of self and then inflict corporal punishment on a free human being in a public setting, it was ridiculous. But I did it. And that just goes to show you how we all can get into a position where we feel like people have control. But then as we mature and then we grow and then we start to get more control of our own lives, we start to realize these people don't have control. These people have no right to ask for things like that. The titles and the respect, that stuff has to be earned. That is something that should be organic. You can explain to them the structure of what it is you do and what the titles and the significance. And then if you behave in a way that demands that people implement them on their own, then you're doing it right. But to sit there and have people call you by titles and by special names and whatever because you demand it, because you have rules in place for it, well, that's your own insecurity because you're not behaving in a way that makes people feel like, hey, you know what? I respect this person, so I'm going to call him by this. Simple as that. I'm the president of the company that I run. I don't ask people to call me Mr. President. I don't even ask people to call me Mr. Right. I just have them call me Brian because that's who I am. It's my name. So titles and all that crap, you got to earn it. Respect is earned. The usage of these words should be more of an organic situation built upon by respect. So no one controls you. You should never accept corporal punishment. You should never accept someone, having you take things in a out of context, embarrass you in public or whatever because of these private weird scenarios that people create. So be a free individual making your own choices. Build the life that you want for yourself and find people that you can build together with instead of extracting money, getting a paycheck from a shitty boss, or doing things for a shitty person because of their weak and fragile ego. All right, that's my rant, and I am going to go to work, and hopefully I will organically grow some respect with the people that work for me. So that's the deal. Later.